wanted to mention on this card, again, it is a pretty good card for an end of the year, like free card, so to speak. I mean, nothing's free, but you know what I'm saying. Jose Aldo's on this card. He's actually going to be fighting Chito Vera. Now, Chito Vera, if people are watching, if they remember, got that win over Sean O'Malley in his last fight. He was a big underdog. He ended up coming through a little bit of a weird circumstance with O'Malley hurting himself in the fight and Vera capitalizing, getting the TKO finish. But this is a big fight for Aldo, because if he loses this fight, I don't know where he goes from here, because he just fought for the title. He lost. He got a 5th round stoppage loss to Petr Yan. Petr Yan's super talented. I think this is a big jump up for Chito, but at the same time, if Chito wins this, where the heck does Aldo go from here? He's 34. He's already not going to get a featherweight shot anymore because he's lost a couple times to Max Holloway. He already just lost to the bantamweight champ. If you lose here again, it's going to be a very long road back to that title shot with how deep bantamweight is. What do you think of the stakes for Jose Aldo this Saturday?
What's the young man that beat Sean O'Malley? What's his name again?
Chito Vera.
Chito Vera. I like him. I like him.
Oh, yeah.
I like him. He's really skilled. I was watching him train. I watched him train, and I watched that fight too. And he has a chip on his shoulder. I like how much of a chip on his shoulder he has.
Does not give a fuck. I hate to start it here, but it's true. Like, that's how he is. He's just like, I'll fight anyone, anytime, any weight, and I don't give a crap. And I love, and you know what was great? Because O'Malley's kind of like a, he's a good salesperson, good sort of, guy, like promoter, and Chito Vera wasn't having any of that. You can't put that past Chito. This guy's from Ecuador. He doesn't give a shit how you're dressed or what you're doing. He's going in there to take your head off, and he did that in that fight. So it's going to be interesting.
He's seen some hard times, that guy. You could tell, and I think he deserves a big shot like this, a big fight like this with a credible name, a former world champion in 2 different fighting organizations, and he's a top. Would you put Aldo in the top 5 lightweights of all time? I think I would. What is he? 145?
145. Yeah, featherweights. I think he's still one of the best ever. It's kind of a tough argument because Max Holloway beat him twice, but Max Holloway doesn't have a ton of title defenses. It's tough to sort of say who. A lot of people say Holloway's the best featherweight of all time. Which, I mean, yeah, you could say that. I mean, I don't have an issue, but
BJ, you would say BJ, him. Where's BJ's prime?
BJ's 155.
155. There you go. So 145. Yeah, I think Aldo's up there somewhere, but in the top 5. But yeah, I mean, again, like you said, if he loses this, it's a tough road back, and if he loses it, I mean, he's had over four title shots, and he's lost all of them. So
recently, 45. So 35 has only had 1 title shot, and that was the last fight against Yan. But the problem is bantamweight's so deep, and we're not even talking about some of the other names that are in there. Frankie Edgar dropped, and he got a win in his last fight over Pedro Munoz, so he's up there. You've got Dominic Cruz in the mix, who I know lost his last fight, but he's still a former champion. He's got some clout in that division. You got TJ Dillashaw, who's had the steroid suspension, who technically never lost his belt at 135.
Is he back? Is he coming back?
He's coming back in January, yeah.
Oh, I'm excited about that. I like TJ.
I'm trying to get an interview with him forever. His manager takes a little bit to get back, but I'm trying to get something with him here. He's managed by he's managed by Tiki.
Sometimes we got to do that to you guys, man, because you guys call all day.
I'll do one, and then I'll do a follow up, and then I get the message loud and clear. But
you guys want to do an interview even in dead times. It's like, yo, wait, I got some news for you guys soon. Just wait,
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I understand, because I got to wear both hats now, so I get it. Like, I would want to do that too. So. Yeah,
but the point I was getting at is that, like, it couldn't be worse timing for Aldo to have this fight because of just what's going on right now. Like I said, Dillashaw, the Yan and Sterling fight hasn't even been rebooked yet, so we don't even know what's happening there. But I personally think that if Aldo loses this, I think he's done as a contender. I think I might even say that I'll even go as far to say they might cut him, because you look at how much they're like Yoel Romero, they got rid of him. Rumble Johnson, they were like, whatever, you go to Bellator if you want. Like, they're cutting costs right now. And for a guy like Aldo, who still doesn't speak any English, who's not very, like, he says he's a big name, but not exactly super marketable, I think they could say, hey, you want to go elsewhere? Go for it.
I was thinking that when you asked me that question, I think Aldo needs a fresh start.
Yeah.
And again, he's not old. He's 34, but he's been around forever. So it feels like he's been around forever, but he's only 34 years old. I mean, he's still there when it comes to, being a guy that, could be towards the end of his prime, but he's still right there. He could still fight for another 3-4 years if he wanted to. It just depends on, who's put in front of him. And he's still fighting at a very high level, as you see in these last 3-4 fights. He's just losing to the better opposition, younger opposition, a little bit more fresher opposition. And then they have all of this tape on him. You understand, like, when you've been around, I got all types of tape on you. I could watch I've watched your best fight, your worst fight, your draws. I could watch everything on you, and I could study the hell out of you. And these young guys have all studied him. And remember, he used to be Aldo used to be a guy that was doing things a little bit more different, and he was a little bit more ahead of his time. With the leg kicks and just the way he used to fight was a little bit more advanced than old fighters did. He's stuck in between two generations, and he's able to kind of move forward with this new generation. And I just think that the guys have caught up to him, and that's just what it is.
I still think he wins on Saturday. I picked him on my preview show. He's a slight betting favorite right now, but minus 145 on some of the lines right there. Chito Vera plus 125. It's not that I don't think Chito's not good. I think he's great. I just think it's a big step up from, some of the guys that Chito's fought. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, the pressure is definitely on Aldo in this fight ahead of Saturday. By the way, there's 14 fights on this card. I think one of them, the Bilal Muhammad fight's off because of COVID, but they had to throw all those like COVID fights that got canceled before onto this card. So if you're watching this one, if you're watching the entire thing, prepare to, have an early start for this one because it's going to be a long card.